Hey guys, Tony here. So I wanted to come on. A lot of people actually ask me. Currently on the treadmill, so if you guys hear a bunch of noises, it's just me running or me just walking on the treadmill, warming up for the run. But I did have a lot of people requesting a TA for BTC. So I'm gonna try to make this quick, just because I'm gonna run and I don't want this to take too long. Just looking at the chart, man. Unfortunately, everything looks kind of bearish, man, which kind of sucks because on the monthly chart, it does show that we created tops, but BTC has been known to run actually a lot when the stochastic is actually at highs, which is actually not a bad sign. As far as TA shows, it shows bearish movement, but I would still be pretty bullish on BTC, to be honest. Like I said before, like when you see Bitcoin, when you see the stochastic at these highs, you tend to actually have a lot of strong support for bullish movement on the upside, because you guys can see this run from $300 all the way to like 20k on the stochastic. We were basically making tops the whole way up, right? And this is on the month chart. We just started right now, and it does look like the bullish movement is trickling towards the upside. So as of right now, I have to say that I'm still pretty bullish on BTC. We might see some sideways movement, but I think for the most part, I do think that we might go down, hit this 51k for BTC, rebound, and then go back up to $57,000, right? Looking at the 1 hour chart, I actually just placed a forex trade for a buy for Bitcoin, because I do think it's gonna rally back to $57,000, at least sometime today or tomorrow. I do think it's going back up to 57,000, and actually have that trade on my forex account. Oh yeah, that's my TikTok, but forex. You guys can see my Bitcoin trade up here, that BTC 01, have it on the chart right here, just to like let you guys know that I'm not joking. It's a real account. Anybody says that it's a fake account, I'm gonna be pissed. But what's it called? Everything looks pretty bullish, man. Like I wouldn't be, I'd be perfectly fine. I wouldn't say I'd be perfectly fine buying Bitcoin at these levels, because there is a chance that we might keep dropping. But as far as just general TA goes, like, it does look like we are creating some solid bottoms, and it doesn't look like, Bitcoin tends to usually not necessarily, trend down too much when the stochastic is creating bottoms. It usually tends to trade sideways. So, I would not be surprised if Bitcoin actually just trades within this 51k to 57k channel, for a little bit longer before breaking up to the upside. And I know on my last T on Bitcoin, I did say that we're perfectly, levered to make a jump towards $75,000. Obviously, that's not going to happen anymore, because like crypto, the whole market is kind of stagnant because the stock market actually fell through. So the stock market is absolutely bleeding, right? And that's why BTC didn't see that huge run up. But I think overall, I'm still pretty bullish towards Bitcoin. I think there's a better chance that we go up to $75,000 as opposed to going back down to like 32k or something, right? I just think that's gonna be like the general thing. I think it does look like it's keeping track of just its general, just its general trend line, right? I think for the most part, it is keeping just kind of track of this basic market structure, right? So it is creating just a basic bullish market structure. You guys can see the highs created here, higher low, or actually the lower high, and then a higher high, lower high, another higher high, and a lower high. I think if we do break towards the downside and we start trading around this region, there's definitely a chance we drop all the way down to like 40k or so. But I think for the most part, I am still pretty bullish on Bitcoin. I think that it's actually going to trade. I think we're nearing bottoms right now, and I think we're actually going to be going towards the upside today or tomorrow, because usually when we're trading sideways, when we hit the MACD on the bearish side, we usually tend to trade sideways for a bit before actually going to too far down. So last time we actually went down, it was only for a couple of hours. Same thing here. And then last time we rallied on the MACD was we went from 54 to like the tops of 57, right? So I do think that's possibly going to happen again. But yeah, I do think riot calls, if you guys are, you know, trading for stocks, riot, SOS, MAR, whatever, I do think riot calls, MAR calls, SOS calls, I think for minimum a month out are a solid play. I actually have a couple riot calls right now myself, and I think they expire like April 30th or something, so I got plenty of time, right? But for the most part, I do think Bitcoin is pretty consistent right now towards the upside. As far as the price target, I don't know if I want to actually give, you know, a price target. If I had to actually guess, I would actually guess based off of the previous rally that we had from previous lows. So I mean, if I had to give like a really quick forecast of what I think, I'd actually give a forecast of, you know, let me see. You know, last time we rallied 16,000 points in about 8 days. So I think if we were going to rally again, I think we would have around the same kind of structure moving upwards, right? So I do think that, what is it, 8 days, 16 points, basically, right there. Yeah, so I do think if we do rally from here, which is definitely a big possibility, I would say that by, you know, the beginning of April, the end of March, we're going to end up somewhere around the $68,000 to $70,000 level. And if we are at these highs by the end of this month, there's a very big possibility that we're going to keep rallying towards that $75,000 level before hitting a wall, you know, before hitting resistance and then coming right back down. I think that coming back down to 60,000 is completely possible if we do hit 75K and then correct to 60K, go back up and then rally from there, right? So I think if I did have to give some sort of, you know, forecast, it would be, you know, from the next rally, I think the next stop for Bitcoin more than likely is going to be around 70K, and I think it might happen within the next month or so. More than likely, I mean, the forecast here is for 8 days, but I don't know if we actually created bottoms yet. But from the bottom, I do think that we would rally upwards, and I think the next stop for BTC is going to be closer to the $70,000 mark, and I do think that is very possible within the next month or so. So I'll see you guys later.